Good morning. After a wonderful weekend with your family, we are together again. How are you, boys and girls? Great? You're doing well? Yes, great. Now, our lesson today will be a new lesson. It's also about shapes, but there's different now between the lesson that we will take today and the lessons we took before. The one that belongs to the shape. Do you still remember? We took squares, triangles, rectangles, and circles. These we called them before two-dimensional shapes, right? Today we will learn something called, see here, see here in your book, three-dimensional shapes. They are three-dimensional shapes. Why did we call it three-dimensional shapes? Why do we call it like this? Because the scientist should measure their width, length, and the height. These are the three dimensions the scientists created were the three-dimensional shapes for this reason. Okay? So before two-dimensional shape, the shape that we call two-dimensional shape had only length and width, no height. But today we will have height, width, and length for each shape. So that's why we said the three-dimensional shapes. Today we will learn about cubes. This is the first shape, and about prisms. This is the second shape you will learn today. So these two shapes, we call them three-dimensional shapes. They are under cubes. Prisms are under three-dimensional shapes. Okay? Now, boys and girls, I want you to bring with you a tissue box and to bring with you dice. Do you have dice? Yes, go and bring it. Or if you have a gift box, okay, bring them both and come. I'm waiting for you. Don't forget to put pause before you go and bring them. Here we go. Now open your book, page 711, and let's be together. I want you to look at this gift, the one that is up. Do you think it's similar to the one that is under it? No, they are not the same. This is thin and it has really small height, while the down one, the blue gift, has a very long height, right? Here's the height. See, this is the height of the red gift and this is the height of the blue gift. And the brown one, this is its height. Okay? Look at this one, the red one up. And it is look like the tissue box that you brought. The tissue box, if you looked at the tissue box that you have from up, you will see a triangle. Triangle? No, it's rectangle. This is the rectangle. Okay? And the tissue box is opened from here and it has tissues. You can take it from here, right? This is a tissue, you can take it from here. Now, let us focus Okay? Okay, this is the tissue box. I will draw it from this side. Okay. Now, let us focus on this side. It is what? As we said, it is rectangle. So we call this tissue box shape and this gift shape, look at it here also, it's a what? It's rectangle. So we call it rectangular prisms. We call it rectangular prisms. Okay? But look at the dice cube also. You got it, right? This is the dice cube. If I looked at just one face of this dice cube, I will see a square. If I want to draw the cube, all of it, I will draw like this. This is another square. Now I will put more squares, but with different color. This is one square now. I'll put it up. And I will put another one here on this side. And I will put here also on another side here. And then I will put another last one. I will put it as a base down. As a base down. See, this is the one that is down. Okay, but you cannot see the whole edges. These edges, you cannot see them at all because they are behind. How many squares did I use? Do you know? Let's count them. The first two oranges I drew. Then the second two green. And the last two, the one on the top and down one is what? Blue. So, two orange squares, two green squares, and two blue squares. Okay? How many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I used 6 squares to make a cube. So this we call it cube. Why a cube? Because I used only squares. But here in the tissue box, I used rectangle and I used square. But sometimes they are all rectangles, but some rectangles are fat and some rectangles are thin. Okay? This here in this side, it's a thin rectangle, while this side is a fat rectangle. See? What do we call this shape? And here also another fat rectangle. See? What do we call this shape? Because I used rectangle, so we say rectangular prism. Say it with me. Rectangular prism. Good job. Then the second one we said cube. Why did we say cube? Because we used 6 squares. All of them are squares. All of them are squares. I connected them together in a very nice way to make cubes. But I didn't use any other shape, only squares to make cubes. Only 6 squares. Great job. Put a big star for you and for me. I put it. Now we're done. You go now to page 712, or we say 712. This is the correct. Now, look at this page. In this page, we will learn more about cubes and rectangular prism. What did we say? We said they are not two-dimensional shapes, they are three-dimensional shapes. If it is just square, two-dimensional shape. But because we said we used a lot of squares, we did the cube, that means it's three-dimensional shapes. So three-dimensional shapes are solid shapes, cubes, and rectangular prisms. Have faces and vertices. Now, I have here a cube, as we said, like dice. And we have here rectangular prism, as we said, like tissue box. Now, look at this shape. Look at the cube. This is a face. Do you remember how many squares did we use to make a cube? Yes, miss, we're so smart. We used 6 squares. So to use 6 squares, that means you used 6 faces, or all squares. So we call them 6 faces. They are 6 faces. If you want to connect the faces, 1 and 1 behind, so it's 2. Then 3, then 1 to the left, so it's 4. Now 5 on the top and down the bottom one, the base one, so it's 6 squares, so it's 6 faces. Great job. Now, do you still remember what's the meaning of vertices? Vertices when 2 edges are meet. Where 2 edges meet. Now let's see where is the edges you miss. Here, 1. This is the edges. They are meeting in here, in this point. Okay, I'll show you in the blue one. See this point, the edges are meeting in this point. And this is the vertices, the pointed part. Okay, and here's 1. So it's 2. Now here is 3. And here is 4. Got it? Here is 4. Oh, sorry, this one. Now this is 5. This is 6. This is the one behind 7. And this is the last one, 8. Now how many? They are 8 vertices. They are 8 vertices. Let's count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 vertices. Got it? See, where is the vertex here? 1 vertex and a lot of vertices. 8 vertices. This is about cubes. What about cubes? Now go to the rectangular prism. Let us count the faces. Let's count them. Do you still remember which shape did we use to make a rectangular prism? We used rectangle. We used rectangle faces. So let's count the faces we used. 1 up, 1 down as base. 1, so it's 2. 1 to the left and 1 to the right, so they are 4. Now, 1 to the front and 1 at the back, so it's 6. So 6 faces. Right? Now let us count the vertices together. Let's count the vertices. We said the pointed part, the vertex where more than one edge are meeting. 2 or 3 or more than 3 edges meet. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. See this one, it's hiding behind back at the back. So they are 8 vertices. Look, cubes and rectangular prism both have 6 faces and 8 vertices. Clear? Great job. Alright, now let's read the instructions down. Identify each shape and circle the name and write the number of faces and vertices. Now look at this one. Let's first think together. It has what? It has a rectangle. So from the rectangle, I can immediately know, oh, it's rectangular prism. Now, how many faces do you remember? It's 6 faces. And how many vertices? Let's count them again. With the ones that are hiding, we will count them all now. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 vertices. Great job. Now let us go to the next question. We will look at the shape. What is this shape? What did we use to make this shape? Let's draw the first face. Maybe I will know. Maybe I will remember. What did the teacher tell me? Oh, it is a square. Where did I use squares? Where did I use squares? When did I use squares? When I want to make rectangular prism? No. When I want to do cube? Yes. So it's a cube. Great job. So let's think a little bit. How many faces? How many squares did I use to make the cube? I used 6 faces. Great job. Now let's count the vertices. I will choose another color to make it clear. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. So great. 6 faces, 8 vertices for both rectangular prism and the cubes. I'm not gonna get confused between these two shapes. Because the rectangular prism, I used rectangle. And the cube, I used squares. Both rectangular prism and cubes both have 6 faces and 8 vertices. Great job, boys and girls. Go to page 713. Great job. Now, very easy page to solve alone. Identify each shape, circle the name, write the number of faces and vertices. You can remember, you cannot get confused because they both are the same. Have the same number of faces, have the same number of vertices. Now the second question, circle the shape of the faces that make each object. Remember, this box is what shape? Is it a cube or rectangular prism? If it was a cube, remember what face we used. And if it was rectangular prism, remember what faces did we use. Look at the foil, aluminum foil box. Is it rectangular prism or cube? And then circle, what did we use to make this shape? Now the last question is circle the object that can be made by the faces. Look at how many faces. 1 purple face, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 purple faces. Which shape I can make by 6 squares? I know you will know it. Now please go to the last page and let's do it together. The last page has a question 8. We will do it together, then you will do the pages alone. Question 8. What shape are the faces on this cube of cheese? I'm not asking you about the name of this shape, all of it. No. What shape are the faces? Do you remember? Faces on this cube of cheese. So they told us it's a cube of cheese. Draw each face. Okay, look at it. I cannot cheat. Oh, I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna just look. I will look at this face. It is what? You can know it. This is the face. Hello? This is the face. So I should figure it out now. What shape is this? What shape is this face? And there's another face down. Another face. Hello? And there's third face. I know cube has 6 faces. Hi. What shape is this face? It is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many shapes should I draw for the cube? Great! By the way, you just take a square and trace it. Don't draw it like me. I'm drawing not nicely and they're not a clear square. Please draw it better than me. Okay, my dear? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many faces? It's 6. What? Rectangle? No. Squares. Squares. Great job. Now we are done. Grade 1, we are done. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to work and send me your work.